Hey, it's Nicole.
And Monica, it's your mortgage chicks with another chirp.
Weekly chirp.
Weekly chirp. Chirpity chirp.
So we are in the last segment of our series that we wanted to do. We felt like it was really important to help educate people on what do underwriters look for when they are looking at your file, and maybe what we're looking for as we're working on your pre-approvals. We got so many questions on this, and we just felt like, hey, let's put the material, let's actually do a little series. So we're kind of at the end of it. The final bullet point we kind of want to go over is credit. You know, super important. All of these loan programs all have different credit parameters. They all have different minimums that you need to have. Since we broker and we work with so many different lenders, we get the best of all of the programs. Yeah. You know, maybe one lender, their scores, minimum score is different, then we can go ahead and look at another lender. So instead of talking about what's the minimum credit score for all of these programs, let's just talk about how you can really have good credit and what are like some tips and tricks. So, you know, I think one of them is really, you know, make your payments on time. If you're not able to make your payments on time, reach out to your creditors, set up a payment arrangement. You know, another one that I've been seeing a ton of lately, unfortunately, is debt, like credit cards maxed out. Yeah. Over the limit on the credit cards. That's a huge issue, especially for our borrowers that might have what I call fragile credit. Their credit scores are a little lower, and any little like yin and yang, you know, pull on their credit is going to do something. You know, if your credit limit, for example, I'm just going to make this up to make it be easy. If it's $300, don't go over $100 being exposed that you have out there on that.
Yeah, they say prime optimization is 25, 30%.
Yes.
But if you're at 10% of that, then really that is going to really help your credit score. Yeah.
And then what are some other things too?
So I would say that the number of trade lines you have open, just the amount of credit you have. I tend to see the best scores with people who have a variety, maybe an installment loan and a revolving account.
And maybe student loans that you're paying on time.
Yes.
Card loan.
Yep. And then sometimes we see collections, and those always show up at the bottom, a little grayed out to let us know that it's delinquent credit. Now, sometimes it may not help your credit to go and pay off those collections. So if you feel like your credit needs work, then that's when you come see us, because we'll put together a plan and help you figure out what the best bang for your buck is to get that credit score up.
And I think that that's important, that sometimes when people are coming to us, they're not in that spot to be ready right then and there. But if you're willing to work with us, we're willing to work with you and to put that game plan together. We've had some really good luck. Sometimes the game plan is a couple of months. Sometimes it's maybe a little bit longer. But like Monica said, you know, the collection piece, sometimes it's not paying off all of those open collections. You know, Congress actually in the last couple of years has actually done something really cool, like the medical collections. You know, they're not really weighed as heavy. People don't have, you know, health insurance, you know, like they used to. So we're not having to hold that against you and have you pay those off in order to do a loan.
That's correct.
Some of the other collections, if they're under a certain threshold, they're not being reported and they can't impact your credit score. So there's been a lot of really important victories, I would say, for the consumer here to help out. And I think the biggest thing is kind of being on top of your credit.
Yes.
You know, either working with us or doing the annual credit report. You can get that for free. We're happy to give out a link if you prefer to kind of view that yourself first before you come to us. But again, I think the biggest takeaway is just working on it as soon as possible and knowing where you're at before jumping into the buying process.
Absolutely. And a lot of people ask, what's a good credit score? And, you know, that's kind of a hard answer.
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question, but I can say most loan programs, I would say if you're in the mid 600s or higher, I would consider that decent. But if you're keeping a score in the 700s, or if you're up to the 800, I would say excellent job, because that's not an easy feat to do. So there's lots of apps out there for your credit. Now, keep in mind, a lot of them aren't FICO-based scoring.
Yeah, they don't have the same scoring model.
Yeah, it'll show a different score. However, they are good tracking tools to keep track of if your score's going up, if your score's going down, and if there's new credit being put out there against you that maybe you're not
aware of. Yeah.
So just really monitor your credit. If you have any further questions, you can contact me at 517-202-1386, or
you can contact me. You can call or text 517-937-4588.
bye.
Bye.